entire story finally coming to a close, we effectively now have the utmost limitations of our various characters set in stone. And so, whereas the themes surrounding its end are those of union, familial bonds, and closure, I will be the demon to pit them all against one another. And to me, there is no better matchup to begin with than the two that started it all. The main characters of our story, Tanjiro and Nezuko, and more specifically, Demon King Tanjiro versus Full Power Nezuko, a true fight for the demonic throne. But before we get swept up into the mayhem, there are a few things we need to establish and consider. First and foremost, although we may be treating this matchup as if it were to the death, logically speaking, these two would not actually be able to kill each other. And that's because it has long since been established that demons cannot kill fellow demons. They cannot take each other out. To the point where the only reasonable way in which they would be able to do so would be to extend the fight and prolong it long enough to where the sun would handle one of them and the other would make their escape. However, because both these characters are immune to the sun, that would not be a possibility. So, with them both being truly immortal, I suppose we just have to equate the pretense for victory to be that of domination or extreme severance. And by that I mean they get matched up so badly that it's a question as to whether or not you could consider them to be truly living or not. Secondly, we will not be considering hypothetical capabilities, meaning we will only be taking into account abilities and or feats that these characters have displayed during their respective runs. So although Tanjiro was the inheritor of Muzan's incredible power, because he did not display abilities like multiple brains and hearts or communion with those previously consumed, we will not be factoring things like that into this discussion. And admittedly, this does somewhat stifle Tanjiro's prospects as his transformation only spanned a mere 2 chapters, but you could really and truly say the same for Nezuko's transformation as well. Although there was a bit more of it shown off during the preceding arc, it wasn't overbearingly substantial by any means. All in all, I do feel as though in regards to time allocation, these two are on an even playing field, at least in that regard. And lastly, there is no talking things through here. It's either win or lose. And with both of these characters being feral in their respective transformations, they don't really talk anyways. Tanjiro is just belligerent and wants to destroy anything in his path, and Nezuko, being bound to protect humans and destroy demons, is especially enraged and angered at the presence of Tanjiro here because he has such a high concentration of Muzan's blood, more than even the Upper Moon demons. So if the presence of Upper Moon 6 alone was enough to send her into a frenzy, she is absolutely berserk in this fight. But now that all of that's out of the way, let us begin. Now, one of Nezuko's more unique abilities would be that of side shifting. The ability to change her side.